Hello there, my beautiful Scorpio signs. It's Rachael with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is all about you, Scorpio, and what's happening for you on this lunar cycle. So when you're watching this video, it'll probably be right after the, I think it was a new moon in Virgo that we're having on September the 2nd. That's all about planting the seeds for things that you would like to come to fruition. Virgo is usually primarily focused on career opportunities, creative ventures, those sorts of things. So you're kind of planting the seeds here during this cycle, and I do feel like you are doing a lot of growth at this time. So the first card I pulled for you was the Hierophant. That's the Taurian energy. So some of you might be dealing with a Taurus, but I pulled a traditional Celtic cross spread for you, and this spread is kind of just focusing on your current situation, what's happening for you, what the future is looking like. It's just a broad reading, so keep that in mind. But if this message resonates for you, Scorpio, please hit that like button, smash that like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. If you're only interested in Toro, then just watch the first half of the video. But if you're interested in more guided messages from Spirit, I use other divination cards such as wisdom oracles, chakra cards, moon cards, and a little bit of I Ching. So anyways, let's dive into your tarot here. The Hierophant is the first card that came out for you for your current situation. The Hierophant is tied to education or traditional religion or a scholarly type of things. So this is a card of maybe spiritual growth or spiritual development that you're experiencing right now. And the challenge that you're encountering is the sun. So this is a totally brand new opportunity for growth and joy and happiness that's going to bring you a lot of fulfillment. Now, your foundation when it comes to this energy is the Queen of Wands. This is like you're feeling very inspired at this time. Maybe this is a venture you're pursuing solely by yourself, and it's just a whole brand new territory for you, because the Queen of Wands is a very fiery, independent, passionately driven energy. And I do feel like you are going after what it is that brings you joy and happiness and that little bit of spark. And I do feel like it's going to be very fruitful for your essence, your overall just growth for longevity, because the Hierophant is also a card of long-term tradition. Now, in your past, you have the Five of Cups, which I thought was interesting because the Five of Cups is usually a card of like regret or remorse. So maybe you're experiencing like, I wish I would have studied this sooner, or I wish I would have known all this sooner. But everything is divinely guided and timed for when you're ready, when your soul is ready. Your higher self works with your spirit guides. They work with angels, if you believe in that sort of thing. And I do feel like this is divinely timed for you to receive and to experience this switch of a lifestyle, perhaps, at a certain period of time in your life, because you've learned so many different lessons. It's kind of hard to explain what I'm saying here, but it's like if you hadn't gone through, maybe karmic soulmates a couple times through, you wouldn't have realized or recognized or been ready to fully absorb and understand all of the knowledge that's incoming into your energy body. Basically, like your vibrational frequency wouldn't have matched, and you maybe would not have retained it as well as you are now because of your past experience. So the current energy that you are in right now, Scorpio, I almost forgot who I was reading for. I just wanted to say Taurus, is the Four of Wands. This is about a victory, a celebration, a success. It could be about a marriage or an engagement. So maybe you're taking up a new perspective when it comes to theology because of a partner or somebody you're going to be in a relationship with. Maybe they have inspired you to study something new or learn something outside of the box of tradition that you were used to. And that's a celebration. It's a victory. Now, your upcoming energy, the near future energy, is the Seven of Wands. This is standing up for your belief systems and your values. So this very much so is cohesive with everything that I've said here, everything that's going on. I feel like this is you shifting and adapting your old way of belief, your old value system, your old perspectives into something new that's really more truly aligned with your energy, with your spirit, with your essence. Because a lot of the times when we are raised in a traditional mindset, which is, at least in the States here, it's a very God-fearing church and state energy. Sometimes as life goes on and lessons are learned, you might begin to see that's a very narrow perspective of the options that are out there for everyone. Now, I don't particularly subscribe to any specific religion. I have my own personal values and beliefs based on my own experience, which is as everyone should. And those experiences and values and beliefs shift in time based on more experience. So I do feel like that's what's happening for you, because the next card I have for you is what's your power in the situation. And it's death. It's ego death is what I'm getting here. This is a death of an old version of yourself that had to maybe adhere to certain narratives or certain lifestyles to fit in, to be culturally adaptive to your environment. And the death is like ego death of like losing that part of yourself because you're standing up for what you truly value and what you truly believe, not just what's indoctrinated or what you were conditioned to be. Now, the next card I have for you was, how's this affecting people around you? And I think you're seeing a different side of people. Sorry if you heard that noise earlier. It was my cat trying to get in, but I'll let him in later. But the Empress is the card that came out for like the outsider energy. And I feel like maybe you have been very much so in a masculine state of mind, because the outsider energy is a very feminine state of mind. This is maybe you're butting heads with your motherly figure, your sisters, something like that. Some sort of feminine energy that is not aligned to your mindset, or they're maybe just not seeing your perspective. And I pulled a clarifier here just to see what else Spirit wanted to say about this. It's like, this is an opportunity. This is a seed for them to grow, to broaden their horizons, to open their mind, to open their hearts. It's an opportunity. Your experience and showing people that you don't always have to stay the same is very motivational to the proper people who are ready to receive it. And I feel like this is an opportunity. If someone is willing to do the introspection and the inner work, it's an opportunity to move forward. Now, the next card I have for you, this is about your hopes and your fears. It's about making the right choice. The Chariot is kind of about moving forward quickly with the decision that you've made. It's, this is, to me, is a card also of like, not everything is in black and white, and there is a gray area. And to me, sometimes towing that line, that gray area, the yin between the yang, that's the sweet spot. And sometimes it's hard for other people to see that or to understand it. Now, your outcome here is the Four of Swords. You are healing, you are resting, you're recuperating, you're regenerating. You are working on yourself on a very, very good, like, basic level. This is all about contemplating and being self-aware and reflective. It's just a great card to have in your outcome, because it's like you see why you made the choices you did in the past, or why you believed a certain narrative in the past, and how that's affecting you now, and why you're changing it. Now, just because you're doing that work doesn't mean everyone else is ready to do that. Now, your subconscious energy was the Page of Swords, and I said that because of the Page of Swords, basically, because the Page of Swords is a very immature vibe, and sometimes it's hard to grow and see others stuck in a pattern of repeat when you're kind of giving them the information right in front of their eyes, but they may not be ready to see it. So this Page of Swords is kind of like, be cautious when it comes to maybe oversharing your perspective, because people may not be ready to absorb it. They may listen, but they might not be hearing you. You know what I'm saying? Or they might hear you, but they might not be listening. you get what I mean. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio, when it comes to the tarot. Hopefully that helped. Again, if it did, smash that like button. If you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session, please feel free to reach out to me, DM me. If you would like an individualized tarot reading where I tap into your specific energy, I can do that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and dive into the oracle cards at this time. So these oracle cards, I have about 9 decks that I'm going to pull from here, and these are just going to be hopefully cohesive messages that Spirit wants you to work on, and some advice and guidance from Spirit as well. So the first card I have is the Creator. It's a number 22 card. This to me is about transmuting pain or your experience and putting it into your art, in an art form of some sort. That could be a blog, that could be a video, that could be just joining a group in regards to this new study or this new lifestyle you're diving into or dabbling in. So that's kind of that energy here, because we all co-create with the universe, whether we really realize it or not. Even you just watching this video is a co-creation occurring, because you're absorbing, even on a subconscious level, all of the information that I have absorbed and studied from someone else. Now, this card is a moon card. It says, "My body is a wondrous and magnificent machine, and I feel privileged to live in it." Again, I do feel like this is tied to this healing energy. Maybe you have struggled with some body dysmorphia or some bad health habits, and I feel like you're trying to pivot yourself out of that mindset. Typically, when we struggle with our sense of self-worth or self-value, it is expressed via our temple. Our body is our temple, and sometimes we don't treat it like that because we don't feel worthy of it. Now, the next card I have is the Whale card. Sorry, Scorpio. This is kind of insulting. I have Scorpio in my chart too, but this is interesting. So just as the whale can dive into the depths of the sea and endure immense pressure, you are also able to endure both emotional and physical pressures. You guys, don't come at me in the comments. We just talked about body image, and then I get the Whale card, which I find funny because I used to be very, very heavy, especially after pregnancy. When I think at my heaviest, I was 240 pounds during pregnancy. I mean, it's pregnancy, okay? But it's still a lot of weight for a person that's about 5'6". So make sure you're trying to be reflective of what it is you can carry and what it is you're putting yourself through. And, you know, the whale can handle immense pressure. So the water that a whale dives into is our emotions, metaphorically, in this way. So if you're eating your emotions, I totally understand, because I used to do that a lot. And it was a very, almost like a self-flagellation type of thing that I did without even realizing I was doing it. But I also grew up in an environment where there was a lack. So, you know, getting a candy bar was a rare occurrence. Getting anything that wasn't from a box or a can was a holiday. So I can totally understand where you're coming from. If you're struggling with the body image, like, you can only cure that through introspective work and a lot of trauma healing, typically. Now, the next card I have for you is from my I Ching deck, and this one says People in Harmony, number 13, lucky number 13. In the wilds, creating success, fruitful across the great river, and a noble one's constancy bears fruit. There is strength and energy in alliance. Find like-minded others. People in harmony can commit themselves further and take great risks and enter new territories. Once there is an agreement, follow the vision tenaciously with the constancy of a noble one. What are the unique contributions, and where's the common ground, and how will your life change if your group expands? Now, again, I feel like this ties to that, like, study, that Hierophant energy here, Scorpio. This could be just like finding your tribe, your spirit tribe, trying to bond and have a commonality. And maybe you're joining like a bike group. I don't know what those are called. A biker group, like, or a cyclist club, or maybe you're joining something that brings you joy and peace, and that's going to bring camaraderie to you as well. Scorpio. Well, there's something happening in Scorpio time because I have the new moon in Scorpio. So something is shifting for you for sure. This one says work through your fears. And I feel like if you don't feel like you're good enough, that's shifting. That's changing because you're changing yourself. And you're moving out of this like old way of being. Breaking with the tradition and building new traditions. Now, the next card I have, Scorpio, is from my Third Eye Intuition deck. It says practice. How does your intuition show itself? Is it visual or is it imagery, symbolism, or a flash? Sit down and write anything you've noticed that's out of the ordinary lately and tune in. So sometimes when you have access to your clair abilities, like your clairvoyance, your claircognizance, it can come through many different ways. If you have your third eye chakra open, you can usually have a sensation or a feeling or a knowing coming in through your third eye if your third eye is activated. It's a very distinct sensation, so if you're not sure, chances are it's probably not coming at you that way, but you might get intuitive hits like imagery. Sometimes I will see pictures of things that I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? But it's sometimes a message. So you really have to tune in and attune to your body and attune to yourself, which is part of this like Four of Swords energy, because as you recover and you heal, you're going to be more aligned and attuned with your energetic body. Jeez. Yeah, you have a lot about body and self-love. So this card is from my Power of Love deck. This says self-love. You realize that love of self is necessary to love another. Pouring into your own cup first is going to be very significant for you at this time. Learning to love yourself, learning to love your imperfections as well is very important. Jeez, okay. All that glitters, number 16. This is like another card that's very synchronistic of like the treasure within. There are two masks on this pile of gold, but it's like you're not wearing these masks anymore. You're not fitting in you're not putting them on to please someone else. It's like the pile of abundance is already there, and you're kind of just, with this ego death, you're just throwing those masks, those cloaks that people wear to the wayside, and you're really not caring what anybody else thinks anymore, which is a great place to be as long as it's not hurting anyone else. Now, the next card I have for you is dissipating. This card is tied to your solar plexus chakra by the yellow on the outside here. Dissipating is kind of like waiting for things to shift or waiting for things to change. It's kind of I'm not sure how to describe this. It's kind of like wearing old shoes. You're kind of just, you loved those shoes, you wore them every day, but like the rubber is breaking off. They're not really like attractive anymore. It's your favorite pair of shoes, but they don't make them anymore. You can't find them anymore. So you're kind of just like letting them go, even though it's like a bittersweet feeling. So like the nostalgia that you had for that pair of shoes is dissipating. And I know this sounds like it's a weird analogy, but I don't know why. So somebody needed to hear that about their shoes. But I am a very like neurotypical person, or ADHD or whatever, or all the things probably. And when I find something I like, I usually buy 4 of them, because by the time I use them up, like I can never get them again because they're always discontinued. And that's kind of the energy I'm getting here. So take that as it resonates. But it is tied to your solar plexus chakra, which is kind of your sense of self. So it's like you're shifting a lot of things internally, and it's going to show in an external way positively for you. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Hopefully this helped. If it did, please hit the like button, smash that like button, subscribe, comment. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Again, if you're interested in a one-on-one life coaching session, I can do that for you. Just send me a DM. If you're interested in a personalized tarot or oracle reading, I can do that as well. See you next time.